Hi guys, going live, going live. Probably just stay on this afternoon because we got 3 different meetings and are we on? We are on. Window capture. Hey Gunja girl. Yeah, I know. I'm down here. I'm still trying to get caught up in figured I needed to get online. Ooh, thank you. I'll take hugs. I'd take food too. I had a couple of pieces of cheese for supper. Wasn't probably the most nutritious supper ever. But I told Little Miss Audit that I would stream this. And so I am trying to stream it. Copy. Go to here. Paste. We're going to join from the browser. This meeting link is invalid. Really? Really? Seriously? Let's try it again. Copy. Fucking. Excuse my language. Maybe try doing it that way. Invalid meeting code. Hey, Swedish. Hi, Swedish Lena. Aw, I'm sorry. Well, we've missed you so much. Well, thank you for the replay hours, but we were talking about you going, where in the heck has Swedish Lena been? Oh my gosh, we do miss you. You guys, I need to call audit. Oh, little Miss Audit. I don't think they're going to be having the meeting because that Zoom code doesn't work. Yeah, I know, it's not working for me either. And I'm online, so you're on live. Hi, chat. Yeah, I'm just gonna. Hey, chat. I'm like just getting off the train, so it's like
I guess, you know what, I'm gonna do it here for us, because they should have had it, they should have posted it, and then they should have said it's canceled.
Yeah, it's so you can't get into it.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, good, came in and out. Yeah, I'm gonna do it here for us. And I'm gonna say that, you know, they're trying to say this, I'm gonna say, I think they're doing it, they no longer doing in-person meetings. It's because they're trying to, I'm gonna just use on a list, they're trying to, keep free speech about people being upset, and I'll explain the whole $5, you know, it's another way of getting into the reform over, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get into it just doing Zoom and then the meeting ID separate. And
yeah, let me know if it works. But we should all clearly complain. But they have feedback, you know, we should all get feedback.
yeah. I'm seeing if that works. Hey chat, I'm talking to Audit, trying to the meeting link is invalid.
Interesting. So why do they post the meeting?
I don't know, it says February 18th, 3:30 to 4:30.
Yep. Yeah, we're gonna go. So I guess well, now we do have, do we have an agenda for tonight? That is going on?
I haven't even got that far.
I'll have to look at that one. I'm not gonna go in person. I'm gonna, because it's like, I have to get up early tomorrow. Tomorrow's another long day. Because tomorrow we had ethics commission on top of, public works and city council.
Yeah. Okay, well, I've officially tried all the ways I know how to get in here. So
you tried the phone number? Did they have to call in?
the one tap. There are numbers here. Hi Sue. I did find an agenda, and this is the agenda, and the Zoom meeting link doesn't work. It says it's invalid, Sue. So, okay, but I'm gonna have to, in order to call, I gotta hang up. So,
all right, I'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
All
right, I'll let you know. Bye.
All right, bye.
Okay, Sue, let me see if I can, here, I'm gonna give you the link to it and see if you guys can figure it out. Maybe it's user error, but Audit couldn't get it to work either. I hate it when you get into stupid technical difficulties. Okay, so one tap mobile. So 669 900 9128. Let's see if that works.
Welcome to Zoom. Enter your meeting ID followed by pound. You entered 84789648024. This meeting ID does not exist. Please re-enter your meeting ID followed by pound.
They are fibbers. Fibber McFibbers. Well, looks like we just get to sit and chat, don't we? Oh, I'm sorry, Swedish. I didn't mean to make you cry. I promise I didn't mean to make you cry. Thank you for having sympathy and empathy for me. I know, right? I know. I just cry when I see people running down the road, especially in the springtime for the spring runs, because everybody's like, "Ooh, outside, go outside, enjoy the warmth." And I'm like, I want to be so bad. Enjoy it, people, enjoy it. Okay, you guys, I gotta figure out how to sit up a little bit here, because I thought I was gonna run out of time. Oh, let me see here. Let me see if I can do this without knocking everything off. Oh, Grizz, I know, buddy. Watch out. Get my legs picked up. Get me all settled. Now the cords are all stuck. Yeah, I watched. There was a lady that after I seen that, or after I posted that, there was a lady that has terminal cancer, and she had a video about grieving for the way she used to be, and that it's called um um something grief. Anyways, it was kind of strange that the video kind of popped up just as I was doing that. Anticipatory grief. And it was strange that it popped up. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys. You get to see me in real life have issues trying to get into the bed. I should have got all arranged before I got online. I was trying not to be late for a very important date. Okay, let me get the shoes off. So that way I don't get my bed all dirty from the shoes, even though they don't touch the ground anyways. But oh. Okay, I'm in. Well, that's just ticking me off that I waited all day for little Miss Audit to make sure that I did this meeting for her because she was so excited about it, and now we can't even get into it because they fudged it up. Oh my goodness. Sorry guys, I'll get you over here in just a second. Here I am. Ta-da! Hi Nisa. There was supposed to be another meeting right now, but nobody can get into it because they posted the wrong stuff. And then there's a neighborhood council meeting tonight. There is a Salt Lake City council meeting tonight. So there's 2 more meetings tonight. And then tomorrow is Public Works and Ethics, which is I'm going to be involved with. Oh, goodness sake. So tonight, Nisa, what time zone are you in? Let me see. Let me put something behind the computer. I'm still all cattywampus here. Guess what I got last night, you guys? I got a drawing tablet and some colored pencils. and a sharpener. And I did draw something last night, you guys. You want to see what I drew? Don't laugh at me, though. What do you mean it's the same link as always? They put the wrong one in. Ganja girl. They must have deleted that Zoom room or something. Are you in? Where do I find it at then? East Hollywood bid. So meeting link is invalid. Are you in, Ganja? Yeah, right. Thank you. Phew. I thought maybe I screwed it up. Yeah, I just tried from an old meeting. Okay, yeah, well, that's great that you're able to do this for right now, Nisa. Okay, so now I totally messed up. Where the hell? Am I in the wrong one? No. Hey, hey, Mona in chat. I am so discombobulated. I don't know. We tried, they deleted the meeting room. Yeah. Yeah, we tried like getting in from the old Zoom code from the old agendas and it didn't work. But now I can't find. Let me just go back to Google. Wish you had Janet's phone number. You could just call her. Or shirt guy. Let's see if it goes just to regular. Nope. Nope, that doesn't work. That didn't work either. So, anybody try and call? 323-469. 8311.
Hello, and thank you for calling the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce. Our office hours are Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Fridays, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Please listen closely to the following menu options. For the office manager and membership retention specialist, press 105 for video. For membership or programming, press 125.
Let's just smash any of them.
Good afternoon, Hollywood Chamber of Commerce.
Hi, we're trying to get into the East Hollywood bid meeting.
Yeah, someone just called regarding that.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, the chamber is not involved with the East Hollywood bid. So let me give you Lisa Nashua, who is with LA City College, and I know that she's involved with the East Hollywood bid.
Okay.
Her email is Nashua LC at lacitycollege.edu.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye. Well, she wasn't very helpful. Okay. Well, what are you gonna do? Do you have Janet's number? What about Susanna Furios's? Right? Well, they didn't even put out an agenda. So they have a board meeting scheduled with a Zoom meeting and no agenda. You haven't missed anything, Peter. We were waiting for you to start the party. Peter's here. Peter's here. Peter is here. We have not missed anything. We were supposed to be having a business improvement district meeting, and they have the wrong information in there. And I tried calling the phone number, and the chamber doesn't. So that was information, though, audit. The chamber doesn't oversee this bid. I wonder who does. That was an interesting answer. You know what? I'm going to change this. I mean, it's not going to hurt to try something here. Watch. Let's do this and paste and change this to 5. Let's see what it does. Nah, that didn't work either. Damn it. But obviously that was a 2024 code. And we needed 2025 code. Damn those commies. They were at the college last time, that's right. Hi, Twyla. Hi, Amy. What's wrong with YouTube? Look, you guys, Swedish is here. Call Streets, you're funny, Twyla. Yeah, it's been kind of weird today, definitely. That was happening to me yesterday and the day before, too. Blocking phrases about a case update. Yeah, see, Swedish is alive. She's alive. Say my name, say my name. What were they about, Amy? Because I've been having that problem. Ah. Ah, about tomorrow's case? I didn't I don't have anything blocked. So it's not me. I can't. What is that emoji? Watch dodge. Okay, I'll watch dodge. What happened today? Oh, okay. Oh. Every time Janet's name mentioned, Audit's phone would hang. Oh. And supposedly he said he doesn't have one. Supposedly. But he was still supposed to appear, wasn't he? He's supposed to appear tomorrow. It'll be interesting to see if he does or not. Yep. Well, jam it, Wieland. That's a good one, Ganja. That's the new name, Jam it, Wieland. Okay, we'll go watch. Let me see. Let me go there. Well, that just sucky doodles that we can't get into this damn meeting. Let me find. Dodge babies. Dodge Landsman. 33 minutes ago. It's only 4 minutes. We're going to watch it, you guys.
Hey guys, hope you're well. Wanted to do a quick video. Of course, the bulk of the reporting will be tomorrow. I am heading to California, to Los Angeles. I'm in California now. But wanted to give an update today. There was a hearing. I didn't even know it was a hearing. I thought ZDT, Zero Dark Tony, just simply had to hand over his gun. But apparently there was a hearing scheduled. And thanks to Henry, this was because of the RO that Henry and CD got against ZDT. Because of that, ZDT had to turn in his firearms, which he is registered apparently as having, within 24 hours to the police station. Once he didn't do that, there's a hearing where he should have handed in his firearms and should have shown up in person. He didn't do that. Instead, what happened is that even though ZDT was supposed to show up in person, Tamer showed up via Zoom. That's the attorney for ZDT. And Tamer said that ZDT actually submitted his gun to a police officer. And as evidence, Tamer had the gall to submit a a business card of an officer. He said, well, I have this business card, and so therefore it is proof that at a separate time, ZDT put in the effort and submitted his gun over to the court. Did not happen. The judge was not so pleased at all and said that she would refer to the district attorney and it would result in felony charges. The judge says that's not the process. You don't give it to a random officer willy-nilly. You go through the courts. If it was for some reason, that would have been recorded. It would have been recorded efficiently. So she did not buy it. And she also said, for future reference, she is billing Zero Dark Tony as a non-credible witness, meaning any time he tries to defend himself in another case, in another court case, whether it be Solomon tomorrow, for example, or perhaps in the future if Mindy looks at doing a potential restraining order or Vanessa LaRose, if they try to get a restraining order against ZDT, they should be aware that ZDT is not deemed a credible witness by the official court, and therefore none of his defense nor his evidence will be taken into testimony. Here's the most hilarious part. Tamer said he was also that witness. So Timu Tamer also has been billed as a non-credible witness. How the hell Tamer is going to even try to defend his client in court tomorrow? Who knows? I will be showing up. ZDT will have to show up. Doubt he will, but I will be there tomorrow bright and early. But we all have to thank Henry. Henry's case might have on its face been frivolous, but what it does is it officially defines ZDT as a non-credible witness, and it has officially given felony charges. Now, felony charges mean that it's far more likely that the police will go out of their way to actually find ZDT and arrest him. Before, it might have been low enforcement, it might have been minor to enforce and actually get somebody to go out of their way. Now, with ZDT looking at felony charges, which the DA is guaranteed to bring upon, the previous RO violations were all misdemeanors. Now that he's looking at felony charges, the police are likely to go out of their way to arrest ZDT. So expect a ZDT arrest. I will be there for any hearing with that within this week, because now because of Henry's efforts and the relation of Henry, because of Henry's RO specifically, ZDT had to turn in his gun. So because of Henry going through all these motions and be successful against ZDT, he is now looking at felony charges. So all good news, and I will see you tomorrow at 7:45 Pacific time to see if ZDT shows up, and then I will be in the courtroom later in the afternoon. So all good news. Again, official felony charges. ZDT did not show up. Tamer showed up via Zoom, and it was bad news. So things are going from bad to worse for ZDT, but wish all the people in my chat luck in trying to defend him with this one. Let's see how you spin it.
Yeah, right? Good job, Dodge. Great news. Yay. Nora needs to get hers in there. Mindy needs to get hers in there. Yeah, that's a win. Yeah, remember this morning we're like, I don't know. I think he needs to turn it in. Didn't really understand what that meant. But that's when you play, you pay. I know, right? I'm not a ZDT watcher. I really could give a rat's ass about anything that he says, but it may be worth chiming in there to see if he does flip out. I'm not gonna unhear. Ooh, that's some interesting news. I wonder if he's gonna show up tomorrow. Yeah, baby. Good job, Henry. Good job. Audit, what are we gonna do? You guys are stuck with me for a couple of hours. Let's do some drawing or something. Yeah, I can't stand listening to anybody that vile and bogue. Throw Moxon in for the defense. Peter in for the comic relief. Oh, too bad we can't all be in there streaming in the court. Oh my God, that would be funny. What are you making, Amy? You guys are stuck with me for a couple hours. Stuck with me. That's my sign language. What you making, Amy? Amy, what you making? So you guys want to see my picture that I drew? I got to explain it though. So let me, how do I make me big? I take this off. Meatball tacos and broccoli. Oh, that sounds kind of interesting. Tiny will flip on CCHR, so they have to provide a better attorney. That would be cool if that would happen. That's for sure. Okay, I'm gonna make me big. Wah! Here I am. Okay, so look at my picture, you guys. I know, it's very rudimentary. Let me go this way a little bit. I can't see. Can you see what it is? There's an L. Ron Hubbard and a David Miscavige. There, that's a better. Innocent octopus. And in the octopus, we have the E-meter, and we have a Dianetics book, and we have money, and then we have, I would be a horrible weatherman. Children, there's a child, and another child, and then all the legs. So, on all the legs, so way back when L. Ron Hubbard created the Dianetics and the E-meter, so the doctrine and the text. Here, I'll put my drawing back up. So he created the doctrine and the text. And with that, he used his arms to come out. This is just a picture kind of explaining the issues with Scientology. Hang with me, you guys. You'll understand it. So all the legs, the arms came out, and then it grew more arms, and all the arms are protecting the doctrine and the tech. And the doctrine and the tech are feeding the children and feeding the people that are behind the arms, kind of like a cage. I'm going to put me back down a little. I don't like being so big on the screen. Wait for the first touch assist. You're bad, Peter. So, all the arms have names, and it's fair game, the government, there's PR, there's legal, the people, and the Sea Org. All of these arms are protecting the doctrine and the tech. But there's two huge arms that are definitely, and that is the PR, and there's one I didn't read off called decoy. And that's the decoy arm. And that's the biggest arm of all. The PR and the decoy are the two biggest ones protecting the doctrine and the tech. And the money and the power. Because David Miscavige added the money and the power to be protected in with that. So everybody thinks they're protecting, everybody in Scientology thinks they're protecting the doctrine and the tech. And what they're really protecting now is the money and the power. Kind of seeing my picture. So in order to get those kids out, in order to save the people that are trapped in there, we need to start breaking off those arms. The arms of fair gaming, the arms of infiltration into the government, the arm of PR, the legal arm, the people arm, and the biggest one is the decoy. And what is the decoy arm? Guess. All the hoopla and the hubbububble and all the crap of people infighting and the second gens that are being used as what they call, it's not my words, they call it useful idiots. That's what Scientology calls people that they use that they can benefit from their mistakes. They call them useful idiots. Not my words. And that's the decoy leg. That's the biggest one. That's protecting everything. So we need to continue chopping up those legs, and especially the decoy one. Totally, if you keep feeding it, it's just going to get bigger and bigger. But if you ignore it, it'll fade away and it'll get small. That's the one that'll grow or shrink. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. What do you think? Is anybody here? Did I lose everybody? Hello? I know, I have a horrible camera. And it's nice and fuzzy, isn't it? Calamari is good. But see, calamari is squid, not octopus. We've fried those legs. I guess I could call it a squid, but I think squids have 10 legs. I guess I could add a couple of legs. Same, yeah, it's kind of the same thing. Kinda. Have you ever been octopus fishing? It's kind of fun. You guys are quiet. Uh-oh. They do. Hey, Sandy Lee. Hey, I'm a Jap germ with a stick. So we caught an octopus one time when we were out fishing for halibut, and it came up and it held on to the bait all the way up to the boat, and then when it got up near the stern of the boat, it jumped off and stuck to the back of the boat just like that. It looked like that too, and we couldn't get it off the back of the boat, and so we'd peel like the legs one at a time trying to get it off. We didn't kill it, but Little baby octopuses, octopi, however you say it. Halibut, that's really good bait. It's just trying to keep them on the hook. But halibut love octopus. Yummy, yummy. Are you a fisher person? I'm a Japaterm. Yeah, those octopus are really, they're tricky dickies. Well, we can either come back on in another little while. Let me see. So the meetings aren't until, there's one at 6, which is, no, 7, which is 9 in your younger days. Ah, you're never too old to fish. I love fishing. Well, that's sucky doos that we're not getting to see the bid. Dumb people. Well, what else is there? Do we still have him on there? No. Let's put him back on. I'm going to put me back in the corner. Put me in the corner. Who else? Who else is live? Who else can we bother? Nora was live. Growing Up in Scientology was live. Did you guys watch I Survived? I like that show. Serge Dilmar. Ooh, I have a poem I want to read from Serge Dilmar. Since we're stuck here with me. Oh my FG. The devil works hard, but Rebecca Minkoff's PR bots are out here pulling overtime. Well, trying. Who's making these bizarre AI-generated fluff pieces? Seriously, who? Because it's giving Scientology damage control meets Wish.com SEO strategy. Serge is so funny. Oh my goodness. That is quite the outfit. I wanted, where in the world is the... Okay, so this is really, it's called Behold the Field of Fucks and See that it is barren. Did you guys read this? This is funny. I did not. Hey, Antics. I know. I have it shipped. My ex-husband just sends me fish from Alaska. And it works. I have my salmon and my halibut. Political comment. Okay, let's do political comments. Did you see Lindy Lee's comment about Scientology on the Sean Ryan YouTube channel? I did not, Peter. When was that? I will pull it up. Do you want me to read this poem about no fucks given? It was a very good poem. Here, I'm going to put it on like that, so that way I can see the chat. Behold the field of fucks, and see that it is barren. Look upon this land, once fertile, once vast, where once I toiled, where once I gasped, where seeds of patience, of care, of grace, were sown for the unworthy, erased without trace. Okay, got it, Peter. Here stood the orchards of second chances, watered by hope, pruned by glances, a harvest given to hands unclean, to mouths that bit, to souls obscene. But time is cruel and lessons carved deep, and now I stand where the dead roots sleep. No more tending, no more toil, no more the toil, no more the blood to feed the soil. Behold the field of fucks I grew, rich with mercy, lush with rue. Once I gave and gave and gave, now see what remains in this grave. A wasteland now, a barren stretch, not a single care left to fetch. No pity grows, no guilt takes root, no space for weeds, no place for fruit. For I have burned what once was sown, I have salted the earth down to the bone. So stand and weep and wail in despair, for the field of fucks is beyond repair. That's such a good one, Serge. Behold my field of fucks and see that it is barren. Barren. I want Brian, from a poet, Brian put that into a song. Wouldn't that be a cute song? He does such a good job, excuse me, in the morning of putting things to music. Our little Sergi boy. So who else? Ooh, look at those buns. Boxables. I'm not too sure who that is. Oops, she looks happy. From her to hope. Timu Hall. Ooh. Get to see all my dead ant. I don't. Does anybody ever watch that person? The Voice. Do you guys ever watch The Voice? Told you, you're stuck with me. It's either we hang up and I get back in another couple hours, or we just have fun. Another sanction. I like Harold Light Cody. And what's her name? Sister Bright Zoe. Sister Bright Zoe. Ooh, Court TV. This chick is an incredible singer. Her name is just went right out my Samantha. I'm gonna get tagged for copyright on this. No. Do I tell you I feel home? She has such a pretty voice. Oh, that's Lady Luck HQ. She does slots and stuff. Do you guys ever watch those channels? Oh, here's my cousin.
Say a little prayer for you. A moment I wake up before I put on my makeup. I say a little prayer for you while combing my hair now. I wonder what dress you wear now. I say a little prayer for you. Say a little prayer for you.
Hey, Journey. How are you doing? Show me the list. We're just kind of putzing around and doing stuff, waiting for the next meeting, but how not to dress old. I will show you her. She is the lady spine doc. And she does all sorts of, she does a lot like her shorts and her videos. Sometimes are goofy, like that one with the kids, with my other cousins. But she does a lot of short videos.
I have to poop, but it feels stuck.
Stop!
Oh,
Are you trying to kill us?
What?
Since it's almost Valentine's Day, let's talk about
sorry.
kissing spine, also known as Beystrup's disease. If you're a horse person or in the veterinary field, you've definitely heard of this in horses because it's extremely common. But in humans, it's an underdiagnosed condition that causes chronic lower back pain. So let's talk about it. A 65-year-old man came to my office with complaints of chronic lower back pain. He's had back pain for a number of years and it's focal. It's right in the center of his lower back, and it hurts right there if he presses on it.
She has quite a few nice videos describing different things. Hey, JB808. I am doing fine, Journey. We came on to do a East Hollywood Business Improvement District meeting, and we got blocked out. They don't have the right codes. Thank you, JB808. I appreciate that. Here's a link to her site. But she is a neurosurgeon and focuses on the neurology of the brain, and she works a lot with people with spinal injuries and where the spinal cord comes down out of the brain. But she does do brain surgeries also. And we still need to talk. I talked to my other cousin, and so she knows that we need to talk, but she's a very busy lady. And I give her credit for doing that, that's for sure. But she did, she branded her videos. She has like 215,000 followers. 211,000. But she put some interesting personal things in there too. kind of interesting. And Michael's scheduled for 9 p.m. tonight. If anybody is following Michael. Literally, Michael has a pet business. Not for pets, but for healthy pets. And here is his page. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye, I'm a Jap Germ, and bye, Journey. Dogs get yeast really bad too. That's what happened. One of my dogs gets yeast in their ears, in her ear, and she's constantly digging at it and scratching and an allergic and an infection. And my other one doesn't even bother him. That's going to be on at 9. That's right in the middle of the other meeting. That's, in fact, let's look. Oh, okay. East Hollywood Neighborhood Council. News, Governing Board, Agendas and Minutes. January 27th. It doesn't say there's a meeting tonight. Do I have the wrong one? News about committees. Calendar. It does not say anything. Maybe it's central. I know, I'm talking to myself. I'm giving myself expert advice. Oh, somebody's got to do it. Calendar. Outreach meeting, January 29th. Oh, Little Miss Audit. I don't see nothing on here tonight. Let's call her again. It's supposed to be the East Neighborhood Council meeting. Audit, hello. She not answering. We're just striking out tonight. Audit. I don't see him. I don't see a meeting for tonight.
Really?
No. It's supposed to be east, right?
Yeah, East. Yeah. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. So maybe we get a free night.
Maybe I've still got to do the Salt Lake City one, but
Sure, I could do it on Zoom.
Hollywood is just not coming to. Everybody's still live too, by the way. You're still live.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Sorry, I had to get off.
That's okay.
Okay, so they said it. I got something in it. Okay, you know what? That's weird. Because now I'm not seeing it anymore. I wonder if they canceled it. Let me look. Hold on. Whoops. I got like an email too. To get into the phone.
Yeah, nope.
Find it. So weird.
I know, isn't that strange? Everything's canceled tonight.
I wonder what's going on. Maybe it's no, it wasn't Central Hollywood.
I just look at Central and it's not Central.
I guess that is so weird. But I know we saw it. So I don't think okay, I don't know. Are we in the Matrix or something?
I don't know. Okay, well, I'll send you the link for the Salt Lake one then.
Awesome. Okay. I guess we get off of the other one.
All right.
I thought it was weird that it was Tuesday. Maybe they realized they made a mistake and changed it.
Maybe.
But I know I saw it. I'm like, oh, it's a Tuesday. That's weird.
Yeah, nope, it's the 24th, Peter says.
Okay, maybe they realized or something.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Bye.
All right, thanks. Bye, chat.
Literally, Audit and I are on the phone all day long doing things. Okay, well, so the Salt Lake City Council meeting. I went to the Salt Lake City County Council meeting earlier, and it wouldn't let me. It kept booting me off. So I'm really just striking like 0 on all of these damn meetings today. But if you go to the Salt Lake City Council page, let me show you how this happens. And I'm going to give you the link here. Copy. Paste. And then if you say join online, it will bring you to this page, the February 18th meeting page. And you go down, you go down, you go down, the 7 p.m. formal meeting, room 315, and you're going to register to speak at the formal meeting. Now, I have my information in here, which everybody knows my information anyways. But I don't put my address or my zip code or my phone number. And then it's going to ask you, please indicate whether you'd like to speak during the general comment for the CRA agenda. No. Please indicate whether you want to speak. These are the different things that you can speak on. Oh, this is going to be a very short meeting. Please indicate whether you speak at the general comment portion of the formal meeting agenda. Yes. Would you be joining in person or virtually? Virtually. Register and join. And we're going to cancel this because I don't want to go in there just yet. But then you go to your email and they will send you the link you need to click in order to get into it. So it's very easy to do. The Riverside County Sheriff announced today that he will be running as a Republican for governor of California. Riverside County is where the Gold Base prison is located. Hemet, yeah, right? And they are safe pointed. Yes, they are. I do believe that the LA County Sheriff was also safe pointed. And the new sheriff wasn't really looking much better. Basically similar talking points. And what you'll find, okay, so this Salt Lake City one is very formal. And you call in, you don't have to raise your hand because once you register and then sign in, they'll know that you're there. And they'll call on you when it's your turn. And you get 2 minutes. It's very formal. They do not accept profanity. They don't accept tagging any individual. Of course, like our city council is the same way. Amy speaks off the cuff at the meetings, and I like to write things down, especially for the 2 or the 3 minutes, because 1 minute's easy to babble, but for me, 2 or 3 minutes is hard for me to just babble. And so your purview of your city council is different than your purview of, let's say, the public works meeting or the police commission meeting. So your city council could be of very varied topics. And normally when I speak to Salt Lake City, I speak to the abuses, the front groups, them accepting invitations to front groups. Amy M is amazing, isn't she? Bye. I absolutely adore Amy M's the way she speaks. She's concise, to the point, and very valuable. That's for sure. So I don't really necessarily, I personally, like, if I call into New York or Chicago or Salt Lake, I personally like to listen to the meetings so I can get a flavor of the important things in their community, what other people are talking about, what topics are being brought up, what's on their agenda. It's kind of hard to be just the wackadoodle crazy woman talking about an abusive cult when they're having 50 people being shot a night, or illegal immigrants raiding their city. It's you have to know your audience. You kind of read the room. So I do a little bit of research about that, but most of the time, like I've been going to the Salt Lake City one for, gosh, probably 4 or 5 months now. And just each time I educate them a little bit more about the abuses happening. There's been several times we've gone to the Salt Lake. This is the Salt Lake City Council that several of us have called in quite a few times about the abuses, and that we couldn't say anything to the police commission because they weren't having meetings. And the mayor found out about it, and she fired his butt last week. I mean, I feel sorry for the chief of police, but Dude, do your job. So I think I might talk a little bit about that tonight. I mean, you get 2 whole minutes, so I haven't written anything yet. I honestly thought I had 3 meetings tonight, and we're down to 1, so woohoo! Tomorrow's going to be a busy day full of meetings for audit. I'll only have to do 2 meetings tomorrow, but I have work meetings tomorrow too. Tomorrow's the 19th, yep. 2 meetings. I think I got... That's okay, Amy. Ganja Girl just dropped a new video. Self-care is important.
We get caught in the shadows and routine, but step back and remember what we've seen, how far we have come and what we've achieved. It's actually really crazy hard to believe, but there's still a journey ahead, a lot to do. You gotta keep on pace and push through. It gets hard without an end in sight, but we will win this fight. It can get overwhelming, there's no doubt that's a fact. It's good to take some time, rest up and come back. Self-care is important. Take care of yourself. Check out when you need to. What's best for your health. Re-energize, get your head straight. Get your rest, it's worth the wait. Then come back when you're better. Continue the fight against the abuses. Standing up for what's right. But there's still a journey ahead, a lot to do. Gotta keep on pace and push through. It gets hard without an end in sight, but we will win this fight. It can get overwhelming, there's no doubt that's a fact. It's good to take some time, rest up and come back. Self-care is important. Take care of yourself. Check out when you need to. What's best for your health? Re-energize, get your head straight. Get your rest, it's worth the wait. Then come back when you're better. Continue the fight against the abuses. Standing up for what's right.
Sorry about that, I had you on mute. I do not. Do you want to call in, Peter? And I was talking and I completely had you on mute. Sorry about that. I told Audit I would send her the link so that way she could call in, and I forgot. I need to do that. So let me do that very quick, very quick. I love my Audit. There, I emailed it to her. And then let me go back here. Blum, blum, blum. Okay, what are we talking about? Let's talk about. I always give them credit because they are just so prim and proper. Let me pull open my last spiel to them. This is the Salt Lake City. This was my last spiel. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. First off, I'd like to commend this council for always conducting this meeting. Blah, blah, blah. I call each council meeting to advocate for our children, those that cannot speak for themselves. I remind you that I am here to protest a religion, not to protest a religion, but to demonstrate against the abuse that results from it. And then this one was where I gave the quote about what every counseling session starts with. What would you like to talk about tonight, Peter? Bye, Amy. Thank you. Yeah, all of these places are different. Like the Chicago meetings, you have to call in like 2 days ahead of time to register, and then you have to get accepted the day before, and they tell you whether you're going to speak or not, and you can't even say the word shit in Chicago. They cut you off. And you're talking to, they have 50 or so aldermen, and they're in a different room, which doesn't, make a hill of beans difference because we're on the phone anyways. But when people go there in person, you're not in front of the council people or the aldermen. They're in a different room. So it's kind of weird. Their police commission is very intimate. It's like little banquet tables that they put out in an assembly hall. And so you're more eye to eye. The LAPD commission meeting is more formal, and they're behind their desks, the big desk. Of course, the city council is more formal, but yeah, not very we the people, that's for sure, Sophia. And California they were sued over people being able to use profanity. And so they use a lot of profanity in California when they're in there, which I've done twice now. I've said nasty words, which, hey, fuck, 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 fuck. I don't mind saying the words. That's not that big of a deal. But when you're trying to get somebody's professional attention, to me, using swear words for shock value is stupid. It's pretty stupid. you get more attention with your professionalism than you do and making them think about what you're saying than the shock value of a swear word. But Salt Lake City is very professional. And as I say that, they'll probably have a very unprofessional one. They sometimes have one guy that just stands there and doesn't say anything for his whole 2 minutes. He just stands there. I guess that's a form of freedom of speech, right? But Crazy Love, Chanel, she's usually there. And then we usually have some callers call in. But it's professional, lots of Robert's Rules of Order. Let me text her and tell her that I emailed her the link. Yeah. Well, each place has a different flavor. That's certainly for certain. I mean, I've been on the other side of it. I'm still on the other side of it for different types of meetings, for a nonprofit and for healthcare stuff, and for governmental meetings. I've been on the other side of it many, 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 many times. And I just know what gets the attention. My mom used to say, what did my mom used to say? If you use cuss words, too many cuss words, it really lowers your look of your intelligence or something to that effect. It doesn't make you look very smart. And if you use intelligent words that are appropriate and in the right context, it makes them think about what you're talking about. Of course, you got to read the room. If you're around a bunch of people and they say F, 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 but blah, 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 then, and everybody else is talking like that, you can't lose people in thought either. But you would think city council members and commissioners and lawyers and police officers would know the professionalism that they need to have and that you need to have. Yeah, well, I mean, my husband was a general contractor, and for the first 14 years of my life, I ran an auto body shop. Kind of cuss words were part of the language. It does, but I go from Harvard to Harlem in 2.2 seconds if you tick me off. The You know who I love listening to and is so good at these meetings is Yvonne, YRB. She's absolutely fabulous at these meetings. I should put here is, for any of you that want to call in, here is that Harvard dollar. Yep. Yeah, I can swear with the best of them. Let me go in and put
The best things never change. They just get...
Let me turn that off. Edit video. I'm going to put this in the description. Okay, there, I added that. Let's save it. That East Hollywood one is kind of an interesting. Come on, bud, you can get up here with me. Peter, call in. This one's a good one. This one's a nice, calm one. And if not, what do you want me to say? I think we should talk about the police chief being gone and reward the mayor with some nice things, nice words, and thank her for listening to us. I'm pretty sure it's a her. And Hawaii is very super laid back and passive. Having to bring out the Chi-Town. Yep. It's a different flavor, isn't it? Yeah, my cousin, the one that I just showed you, that's his wife, but my cousin was born and raised in Hawaii. My uncle lived there for many, many, many years on Oahu. And funny story is I've been to Hawaii right before my motorcycle accident. I was in a motorcycle accident and I lost my memory. And we had gone to Hawaii like a month and a half before my accident, and I don't remember being there. I remember like little clips of it, but I went there for the first time, my husband and the kids and I. I need to go back so I can remember it. Pesky damn head injury. I lost my memory. So let me. Yeah, thanks. What do you do in Hawaii? Oh, do you live on the mainland? Yeah, that does suck, but I'll get back there someday. I had bid on a job for a company that I do their bids for. And we had bid on a security job there. We didn't win the bid. If we would have, I would have had to go over there to get the bid started. That would have been fun. Let me answer. Oh, wow. So you're going to school now? Very cool. Yeah, I didn't go to the hospital there. I lived in Alaska, and that's where I had my accident. So we went to Oahu just on vacation into Maui. I just don't remember it. They have a pretty full agenda. New city attorney possibly too. Who has a new full agenda? And Sophia says, I got this very chill Northern European side and a fiery temperamental Westphalian one, but both share that they're stubborn. Uh, hey, Danny. Hello, beautiful Danny. Oh, Danny boy. We're going to do the Salt Lake City meeting. We were going to do LA meetings and they got canceled. So we were just kind of hanging out while we're waiting for the Salt Lake City. You should call in. No, it's not. There was only one thing on the agenda. Are you goofing me? You're pulling my leg. Because there was only one thing to speak to. See, here's the work session meeting. And then here's the formal meeting, the HTML agenda for 7 o'clock. Opening ceremony. And then there is a council member, Darren Mano, will conduct the formal meeting, Pledge of Allegiance, public rules, grant. Items B1 and B2 will be heard as one public hearing for the grant application. And then they have potential action items. And then comments. That is all potential action items. And then the new business and stuff, they will have comments on that. No, they don't have comments on that. The only thing you could comment on was the public hearings. So yeah, they do have a bunch of stuff on there, but they don't, and I wonder why, because usually they have comments after everything. So I don't know why they did that. Yeah, I did all of my school online. Um, After my accident, of course, it took me a couple of years to heal, but in order really for me to get back into the workplace at a competitive, because I couldn't go back into managing, I managed an auto body shop, and I couldn't really go back to doing that in a full-time manner. And so I went to school because I didn't have a degree, and they, of course, paid for my school, but I did everything online. Ended up getting a master's in like, I went from, I got my bachelor's in like a year and a half, 2 years, and then I did my master's in a year. So about three and a half years total. But I double timed everything. It was a lot of work, but I did it. It was a freaking lot of work. Yeah, for the public hearing items, they will have the public comments after each one. Salt Lake is usually really good about it. And again, I'm really surprised that they have the public comments so early. Um, but we'll roll with it. That's what I did too. Is that I did my bachelor's in business admin, and then I did my master's in business management. And it was I fortunately the bachelor's, the Division of Oak Rehab through the state paid for that, and so they paid for everything. I mean, I was allowed to double up my classes, and so I ended up doing like 2 classes at a time, which allowed me to graduate real quick. And then my master's, I felt really guilty about doing a master's, so I ended up paying for my own master's for the online classes. But that was really fortunate to have somebody pay for my classes for my bachelor's, because online was a lot more expensive than going. But I really felt that I needed the equalization. It was to get back into the workforce. I really wasn't old at the time, but to get back into the workforce without a college degree and being paralyzed and being in a wheelchair, that was tough. That would have been tough. Having the degree did help me. Yeah, I was really shocked at some of these wages, they were all fighting about the wages and stuff at the city council there in LA today. That flash mob was kind of funny. But it's amazing what the wages are nowadays. And you can't get people to work. It's hard to get employees right now, but yet the companies aren't hiring. So it's a total catch-22 situation and very weird. They do, well, they do if you ask for or if you need a workplace accommodation, yes, they do. However, the bias is still there, and I'm not really into like discrimination or anything. I know, right? $30 an hour for fast food. Holy crap. I've seen $20 an hour. And probably down there in Hawaii, yeah. Oh my gosh. So, but the bias is still there if you have two people that roll through the door for the same position, even though I would have way more experience, way more education, have way more abilities, I would get turned down for the job to somebody that was half as capable because of the fear of having to do an accommodation or just the biasness that I wasn't adequate for the job. Unfortunately, that's common. So it's not necessarily the physical accommodation, but the mental biasness. And it's unfortunate, even though, businesses are supposed to be wheelchair accessible, a lot of them aren't. It's life. Oops, I just dumped my phone on the ground. It certainly changed my perspective of hiring people. Um, when I worked for the governor, but then I went back to private industry because I'm just not a political person. Either I'm too blunt or just could give a rat's ass. And so politics are not my strong point. I say more of the time, tell it like it is than not. But I went back into the private workforce, and one of the roles I was the general manager of a business, and we hired people as third-party hirers, employers, and I hired people for the South Pole from the North Pole, and that was always fun. And it was kind of different because you had to. People that, yeah, Sophia, I have this kind of an inside joke about, I just want to tell people, look, I'm paralyzed from here down, not here up. Too much stick and not enough carrot approach. Sometimes, yeah, it can be. Yeah, I did great at the job that I did for the governor, and I was a director, which was a higher level position. I did great at what I was supposed to do, but the politics of it, I really sucked at. Um, I didn't like that at all. Didn't like it at all. Learned my lesson. Back to private business I went. Yeah, and I do. Sophia, I get people that talk very loudly at me. Or slow. They talk slow and loud, like I'm deaf and dumb. Just want to roll my eyes. Shake my head. Ooh, pizza. Thank you. Think so. Late night supper we're having. Throw in the oven pizza. Yeah, and you can imagine, I mean, Oahu's a city, but it's more like a big town. I know my uncle was very involved with the politics down there in Oahu, and I used to listen to some pretty crazy stories from down there. Because Alaska's a huge state, but it's small people. Everybody knows everybody, basically, in the business realm, in political realm. Peter, you guys have so many people there in California that you just get lost in the sea, lost in the sea of people, people and concrete. You're in the valley, not the ocean or the sea. I know you're not in the ocean or the sea. Usually got people to stop the senior senile voice. You can do diplomacy, but I prefer the blunt verbally and then non-verbally. Yeah, my face has a voice of its own most of the time. And I really had to work at not rolling my eyes when I was working there. Yeah, that's the it's not what you know, it's who you know, and that's for certain. That's why, you hear a lot of this, oh, well, they say, Scientology safe pointed. Yeah, they do, because it's who you know. And they take it one step further and they make themselves indispensable with information. Yeah, I got a good side eye. I got a good mom stare. The you better behave or I'm gonna whip your ass mom look. Yeah. Like I ever whipped their ass, right? I didn't. But I got the stare down. What about you, Sophia? Hold on, let me text. Oh, I bet it was. Hold on, I'm gonna. Sorry about that. MVP. Your resting bitch face. The RBF. It's cool to go to a big metropolitan area for the diversity and to see different things. Ooh, all right. I'm gonna have to see that one of these days, Sophia. But I can't handle being there for very long. I'm like, okay, I'm done. Get out of here. Because I hate shopping. Hate shopping. I would rather take a beating than make me go shopping. I love online shopping. I love calling Walmart and saying this is what I need and go pick it up. I'm all for that. That's the best thing that came out of the coronavirus was grocery pickup. Yes, sir. So to me, going to a downtown, did I read the informational update that I sent you with the PDF? Probably, Peter, but did you send it just now or earlier? I did read, you did send some stuff that I did read. And if that's what you were talking about, then yes, I did. But if you're talking something that you just sent, yeah, grocery pickup is awesome. They should have been doing that for, and then like pizza delivery and all that, they didn't do that. But you could call in your order. Yeah, I did read it, Peter. And so, hey, I'm gonna come pick up my grocery, my dinner, and they bring it out curbside. The best. That was the best thing that ever happened. Because I could just jump in my car, go there, pick it up, and bring it home. I didn't have to go in to get it. Didn't have to go in to go shopping. And like Amazon sending my clothes. It's perfect. I don't know why I get so overwhelmed when I go shopping. But it is. It's like a total anxiety attack for me. I don't know why. I like being close enough to a big city that you can drive to it to do what you need to do and then be away from it. Mm. So, well, one of the things that I hate about grocery pickup, at least with Walmart, I don't know about the rest of them, but I usually use Walmart because it's the kind of the closest grocery store around here, is that when they substitute, if they don't have something and they can't substitute, they just don't put it in there. They don't like always give you an option. Sometimes they give you an option, but they don't always give you an option. So like you get home and you're like, what the hell? That was part of a recipe. I needed that for my invention, my food invention. Yeah, well, people watching is fun. That's one of the things I do like about going into the city for, is all the weird ass people. People watching. That's what going to airports is fun because you get all the weirdos. You always get weirdos at the airport. No, it was canceled. It was not, there's no meeting. This meeting that we're waiting for right now, Gina, is the Salt Lake City. So we've just been hanging out. Mm-hmm. I agree, Peter, but sometimes they do it just without it. Or they don't replace, or they don't put in a different product. And you're like, it doesn't matter if it was your store brand or the thing brand. Yeah, like eggs. Eggs are too expensive. Gina, there is a link to this if you want to call in. This is it's a formal meeting. This is the city council, and it's not wild and crazy like the LA ones. But there's a link in the description if you want to register. Mm, I'm not fond of it, especially I don't like their meat. I'll take a butcher store or the corner far farmer's market. Oh, that's true. Hey, YRB. YRB, interested in calling in on this meeting? The neighborhood council ones got canceled, or they weren't set up or something. So we've been hanging out just waiting for the Salt Lake City one. Peter's been watching me eat pizza. Yeah, well, they have really good farmers markets around here. And what's really nice is like, well, they have a lot of fruit stands. So you just drive down the road and people have their fruit out in front of their house, and you just stop and you just put money in. Lots of that. It is so nice. Be driving down the road, just driving down the road and oh, grab a couple of ears of corn. farm shops that have vending machines or an honor system. That's what these are, the honor system. We love those because you get the farm fresh stuff cheaper and without the crowds. Yep. Oh, I'm sorry, YRB. Oh, that's painful too. Do some lung exercises like you always tell me. Ouch, that hurts too. That hurts to get the lungs expanded and to breathe out hurts. I'm sorry, YRB. I'm putting you on my prayer list tonight for healing. And then the house around the corner from me, when I get my bike going, I'll show you guys. So it has an apple orchard, and so they do an apple stand, and they have the best apples. And you go over there and you just grab a bag of apples, and you pay them. You pay for them. But yep, honor boxes. That's the best. Hey, Kathy. Really? Now, see, I'd love that. Then, like I have friends that have grapefruit orchards, and then up there in Portland, my sister they have hazelnuts. Okay, thank you, Peter. Oh, nice. Yeah, my next door neighbor does a cow or so every year. So I stock the freezer. I've been out for a while. He needs to redo the cow. I know YRB you don't do the meat, but I like my cow. And Amy, you don't do the pigs, but I kind of like bacon. But I like it from the farmers. It's a little more expensive, but it's way better. But the eggs, my neighbors have chickens, but they didn't have any the other day. I'm thinking of your quail idea at YRB. I love farm fresh eggs. Do you? I'm sorry, I assumed. I'm sorry. Will you accept my apology, Amy? I'm sorry. I eat pizza. So with the neighbor, hey Joe Bananas, how are ya? They you buy the cow. I usually just buy a quarter. I do have a membership at Costco, Peter. But I like ground turkey better than the beef, but we don't have ground turkeys around here. And I'm not really a fan of steaks. I'm sorry. I'd rather have the burger. Good, I'm glad, Joe. And my apologies for this morning. Let's not do that again. Really, the only one I really like is the Jenny O. And I know that's big corporate, but it's still good. the other day when we were on our live with Michael. I had a turkey breast in the oven, and I kept smelling it, going, "Oh, hurry up, Michael. Hurry up and finish asking the questions so I can get the turkey out of the oven." It smelled so good. Yep, that's what they're doing for the darn bird flu. But the eggs don't get bird flu, do they? We all just need to go to YRB's house. ShopRite? Yep, I've heard of that. It's kind of like an IGA. Yeah, right. That's what happens here too, Sophia. And it's not necessarily cheaper, but it's not really way more expensive, but it's way better tasting. Way better tasting. And even if you just go to a butcher store, you can still get way better. And I saw that. Yeah, they had really cheap eggs down there, didn't they? And I'm really not I'm not a sweet tooth. But I was sitting there, and then my son brought me in a drumstick ice cream cone. I'm like, well, I gotta eat it because if I don't, it's gonna melt. Yeah, I wish, okay, like if I had the bippity boppity boo wand and I could go boink, this is what I would like. I'd like to, I wouldn't mind being vegan for a while, or I wouldn't mind eating less meat or eating more vegetables if I had a cook. If I had a chef, yeah, that would be the best. Well, that explains it, YRB. Yeah, and being from Alaska, we had moose up there, so I like my moose. I mean, beef will do, but I prefer moose or caribou. Sorry, answering a text. Oh, boyfriend, you stink. I love bison burgers too. I know that's wild, YRB. And then you can eat them afterwards. Sorry for all those that don't eat meat, but Yeah, that would be really good. I'm thinking of it. You got me really thinking of it. You're one smart woman. Never tried a bison burger? Have you ever tried a moose burger? Or a reindeer burger? A reindeer sausage? Reindeer is kind of like a lot like deer, but reindeer sausage is popular. Moose burger and reindeer burger is very lean. One meal, one pan, or raw. Hmm. One of these days, we'll have to get you some moose burger, some moose steaks, moose backstrap. Boar prosciutto again. That's interesting. It is very lean, or to add a little bit of fat to it. It's an alternate vehicle power source, right? In the wintertime, just hook them up and let them pull me like a sled dog. That's a great idea, Kathy. Ooh, okay. That's a deal. You are on for that. YRB, one thing I didn't see in there, how many like square feet did you have your birds in? I bet you they would make excellent broth. Right? My dad was a hunter here because this is where I grew up when I was little, was here in Michigan, and they had white-tailed deer here. And I, overseas I have too. YRB. And they do that plenty, Peter. I don't know how many times I've kind of had to sit here and my eyelashes are burning. They have big dogs and big smells. Yes, they do. Put a cork in their exhaust. And he's sitting here giving me the stink eye because I'm not sharing my pizza with him. You can have my pizza bone. Let me finish. Close your ears if this offends you. I don't like pizza crust. So we call it pizza bones. And we give them the pizza bones to the dogs. Here goes. Ooh, I bet you they were delicious. Mm. Yeah, they're right. They're really underfed, right? That's why they're in here whining half the time. Because the last couple of online meetings were right at their dinner time. And they know morning and at night when they're supposed to be fed. And God forbid daylight savings time. You think you had starved them for weeks. They don't eat human food mostly. Very seldom. Okay, I lied. They get my leftovers. Like my pizza bone, but that's a snack to them. Are you kidding me? I know a lot of people that make their dog food. They cook for their dogs for the week and then they just leave it in the fridge. I'm just not that good. I guess I'm not that good of a dog owner. It's not like they're underweight whatsoever. You can give them most of that, and they eat them. You had a cheesy garlic French bread and chicken sandwich. Ooh, yum! That sounds really good, Kathy. That sounds really wonderful. Let's see if they have got their thing opened up. Where did how the hell did I get 52 emails in there? That's just not possible. Audit. That is what I did. Let's join. Let's do this. Copy. I'm just having all sorts of technical issues today. Holy schmoly. Now this Zoom's not working. I did register. I did register. I am registered for the following event. I already registered. I'm going to go back to here. Today, I think there is like something in the nether regions of existence today because I can't see your chats. Hey, Audit. I'm glad you are. It won't let me log in. No, there's no volume yet. Let me try and log in again. I'll be just... I promise I am not having... There we go. Okay, now let me go back and join webinar. Cancel. Download now. Join from my browser. Yeah, they'll open it up here in just a minute. Let me go in and go to the correct. Good night, Joe. Sleep well. Sweet dreams. Good night, sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. So on this one, Audit, I don't know if you remember or not, but you do not have to raise your hand. Because you registered, they'll know that you're on there. And they will call you. They will call your name when it is your time. See you in the morning. Okay, we got 10 minutes to go. We're all set. We're all ready. And just like over at Public Works, they'll send you a thing to unmute yourself when it's time. And no goat puppet stuff. No goat puppeting allowed. Or F-bombs. I guess I better write something out real quick. Cause
This is a sound check. Could somebody please confirm?
Sounds good on Zoom.
Thank you.
Let me write this up real quick. Sorry for the words or no words here. Okay, I think I'm probably going to be like right at 2 minutes, but we're good. Let's save it so that way I don't truly mess up. Because the minute I don't, I'll lose it and then I'll be like, oh, fudge. I hate it when that happens. I am not good like Amy is. She can talk for 2 minutes and say it like it is, and I am not that all. I agree, she's made a great impact on F-Bomb Man and Shirt Guy. He was so cute talking again today. He respects you so much on it. Yeah, we were discussing earlier about the flash mob today. That was a hoot. That was cool. Can you imagine Salt Lake or Chicago having that happen to them? That would probably freak them the heck out. These people wouldn't know what hit them. That was. So what was it? They were protesting wages? For the fast food? What were they protesting? I see you, girlfriend. I already ate the pizza. It's gone. I know. They just like pshing, sped out of there. Like they all had guns or something. Wanting benefit changes. Ah. Oh, yeah. Like regular. That's right. I saw you as you were going down the sidewalk. That's what they had said was um, they're all being hired as part-time, so that way they don't have to get paid the benefits. And right, yeah. In in California, what is overtime? Yeah, they hire 4 people part-time, which is really stupid, but um, as an employer, that tactic is really stupid. So is um, overtime over 40 hours a week? Yes. But is it over 8 hours a day? So in Alaska, it was any time over 8 hours a day and 40 hours a week. Time and a half after 40 hours. So you could work 10 hours and not get the 2 hours of overtime. That's the way it is here in Michigan too, which is totally effed up. After 12 hours, it becomes double time. Okay. I've never really looked at what the labor laws were for California. Well, that's good thinking. And, you want to keep your employees. Turnover costs you more than the benefits would have. All of that having to train new employees. And I know they're, starter jobs and their lower level jobs, what they call lower level jobs. But you still have the cost of training people. And so when you have so much turnover, I mean, you're looking at some of those places are 40 to 50% turnover. That's huge, if not more. Well, and I think that's across the board for most places. And nowadays they GPS you. That way they know if you're really working or not. Yeah, well, we were just laughing because J8 or JB was saying $30 an hour down there in Hawaii. I don't know if he was joking or not, but probably not. Shit, I remember getting paid $3 an hour or something like that, plus tips, because they didn't have to pay you minimum wage in the food business because you got tips. That was a ripoff. Okay, Salt Lake City, let's go. What has that got to? Are you joking, Peter? Peter says, but Gavin Newsom's friend at Panera doesn't have to pay $20 because they have fresh bread. Are you joking?
Okay.
Okay.
Welcome to today's City Council meetings. We're happy to have you here, whether you're joining in person or online, and we hope you'll continue to participate in whichever manner you feel most comfortable. The first item on our agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance, so if you'll please join us.
Flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you again for joining us. Before I move through the agenda, I will quickly go through the registration information as well as our rules and standards for our public meetings. We welcome everyone, and the council's goal is to make the meetings a place where people feel safe and comfortable participating in their government. We invite everyone to help make this a welcoming space. A respectful and safe environment allows us to conduct the meeting in an orderly and efficient way. Our most basic rule is that any action that causes a disruption to our ability to conduct the meeting or any safety concern involving threats or unprotected speech are not allowed. These actions or comments may result in removal from the meeting. As a reminder of our public comment registration process, individuals may register to comment on a scheduled public hearing item until that hearing is closed. For the general comment sections, we will accept signups until 7:30. The general comment section is limited to a maximum of 1 hour, and we will only include commenters who register before 7:30 or before general comment period is closed. And it may not be possible for everyone to speak if there are a lot of names. We also require a first and last name when you are giving any comments to the council, and the name cannot be a message or slogan. Staff will message with you if the name you use or the registration does not comply in order to get that name for the record. So that brings us to item A4. A4 is approval of the work session meeting minutes of November 19th, 2024, as well as the formal meeting minutes of January 7th, 2025. I will look for a motion.
Move for approval. Second.
Motion by Councilmember Pui, second by Councilmember Dugan. Is there any discussion to this motion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. This brings us to the public hearing section of our agenda, which are specific proposals before the council that require public hearing. Your comments should pertain to the item on the hearing, and if you go off topic, we'll ask you to stop your comment. Our meeting rules apply to hearing comments as well as public comments, so please avoid disruptions or threats, or we will ask a staff member to assist you out of the meeting.
About different subjects about our pets,
also,
and Pam and I focus
please
on
do not
the feline
include profanity,
series
personal
of
attacks,
our
intimidation, or discriminatory language
website here, and
as
just
those are
bringing
not
you
pervasive or
information.
compelling to the council, and they are not helpful in
energetic,
creating a respectful
healing,
or safe
just
environment.
uses a lot of like
To sign
internal
up to comment on any of the hearing items, please register online or turn in a comment card to a staff member in person here in the room, and your names will be added to the list. Raise your hand in the Zoom or in the room for a staff assistance. If you are having technical issues on Zoom, our staff member Daffodil Bucher can assist you. If you reach the 2-minute mark, the host will announce time and your microphone will be muted. If you're unable to finish your comment, please share the rest via mail, email, or by calling our office. Contact information is listed at slccouncil.com. If you have a handout for the council, please do not approach the dais. Reach out or notify a staff member, and they will assist you in making sure that we get the handout. Our only public hearings this evening are for grant application items number B1 and B2, and they will be heard as one public hearing. Before I begin taking comments, I will turn the time over to our staff policy analyst, Sylvia Richards, to give a short introduction.
addition to awarding the loan, the state will also pay 100% of the principal loan to pay for an engineering study to address the contamination. As a reminder, this item is 96. Second is the annual Bureau of Emergency Medical Services grant, and if approved, the state will fund the emergency medical. Again, these are items.
Thank you, Sylvia.
And we didn't hear a dang thing.
Can we please start with the first commenter on these items?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. There are 3 people registered to speak to these items. The first will be Phil Thampoulis, followed by Bob Ferris, and then Phil Anderson. Phil, you may now unmute.
Yeah, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I wasn't sure if you could hear me. Yeah, so just a couple of things. The first one is for general public, and then I'll switch over to agenda item. So my frustration, and first of all, thank you for the council for letting me speak. My frustration is with none other than your now, I believe, ex-police chief, Mike Brown. And let me tell you why.
This is probably more appropriate for general comment. Right now, we're accepting comments on 2 grant applications. So if you have comments related to items B1 or B2, this is the time for that. Otherwise, we'll make sure that you have time on general comment.
Okay, so this is just for agenda item comment, right?
Correct. Right now, we're only in agenda items B1 and B2.
Okay, yeah, no problem. I'll comment on that. So my thoughts on the 2 items before the council today are, it's baffling on why the constituents have not been solicited for feedback when there's been several reports of utility providers literally going and stalking people in their backyards, digging up trenches for wiring when they're literally making threats towards these people over in the South Salt Lake area. Trespassing on their private property, claiming that they're there to lay fiber optic cable, but they're not, and then even having the audacity to call the cops and use it as a weapon to intimidate these people from basically doing contractor work without permits. Now, if I were the city attorney, that's a clear case for several criminal charges, not the least of which is also to disbar this very same fiber optic company from ever doing business in the Utah state. I mean, this is ridiculous. You have people literally being trespassed on their property, men with what looks like to me in the dead of night guns coming to houses with kids in them and trespassing the property. That's ridiculous. Even your own police board, accountability board are saying the same thing.
And next will be Bob Ferris, followed by Phil Anderson. Bob, you may now unmute.
Hello?
We can hear you.
Hello?
You're unmuted.
Looks like we are having some technical difficulties, so we can move on to Phil Anderson and then circle back. Phil, you may now unmute.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, hello. Is that better? Hello?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay. Thank you for the time to speak. I really appreciate it. Just going back on the agenda items, and I appreciate the council on hearing this. And I appreciate the due diligence when it comes to having public hearings on agenda items, especially as it relates to not only the city's budgets, but on which projects the city is entertaining for such projects. I would imagine part of that involves capital projects, be it utilities, be it whether that be power, whether that be telecom, whether that be water, whether that be public roads. The frustration I have is that in the South Salt Lake area, there is a company that has not been applied due diligence by this council nor any other council, as they're violating people's rights to basically trespassing on their property, coming in the dead of night, doing work without permits, and all under the guise that they have full impunity because the city attorney is not prosecuting them because they're doing major construction without permits. And not only that, they're doing it at dead of night with contractors that have utility belts, which in the dead of night looks like any other gun to me. And they're walking up to people's houses 2, 3 a.m. doing this work, digging up holes in trenches and scaring the ever-loving daylights out of families and having the audacity to call the cops on them, to threaten them so that they keep their mouths shut, to not make any noise about the illegal construction going on. I mean, this is our city here. This is it, our South Salt Lake City. This council has the ability to go correspond with that council as well. Okay, put our heads together and make sure that these people get prosecuted. I ask you, Deputy City Attorney, you're standing right there. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to let this business go and continue to do major construction illegally without permits? Are you not going to go ahead and prosecute them? I mean, come on, this is ridiculous. Thank you.
And next is Phil Anderson. Phil, you may now unmute.
Henry.
Hello?
It's gonna cut you out, dear.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for this council for hearing me out. I appreciate your flexibility and your patience. And I'm just here as a concerned citizen. I appreciate that we have 2 hearings before us on what the city spends its money on. And likewise, I'm sure these 2 capital projects will have major impacts on other areas of the city. And it's important that we go through these public hearings and not have it private conversations, because these are impacting the public's lives, whether that be private companies or publicly traded private companies. It really doesn't matter. And that's why with that due diligence, I think it's important to also be done onto a very well known, and I won't name them because they're very litigious, but they're very well known to the public, basically a telecom utilities company going and digging up into people's private property, claiming they have permits in the South Salt Lake area. The public has gone forward and made their concerns very well known. And this company has the audacity to call cops. Cops, mind you.
All right, we're going to cut this off. Sorry. This isn't related to the 2 grant applications.
And as a reminder, Mr. Chair, if I could just add that each person is entitled to 2 minutes. Despite if the person is registered multiple times, we'll confirm that there are separate people for the next general comment.
Thank you.
That was the final registered commenter for these items.
Mr. Chair, I move that the council close the public hearing and refer items B1 and B2 to a future consent agenda for action.
Second.
Okay, motion from Councilmember Dugan, second from Councilmember Pui. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That passes unanimously. We're now on to potential action items. C1. C1 is an ordinance for budget amendment number 3 for fiscal year 2024 through 25.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Move that we adopt most of the remaining items holding the second IMS position. So I move that the council adopt an ordinance amending the fiscal budget of Salt Lake City, including the employment staffing document for fiscal year 2024-2025, specifically addressing all remaining budget requests with the exception of item A2, with the understanding that the council approved the cybersecurity engineer position at a previous meeting, and the request for the graphic design position can be reconsidered during the upcoming annual budget deliberation.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Dugan, second by Councilmember Pui. Any discussion? All
Hi,
those
is
in
this
favor?
for public comment? So I'm having a hard time here.
No, it's not time for public comment. Is there any question to the motion? Do we need to restate it?
None.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes unanimously. Okay, so now we are on section D. Section D is questions for the mayor from the city council. Are there any questions for Madam Mayor? Do not see any, but thank you for being here. We're now on the general comment portion of the agenda. This is for public comment on city business, but things that are not scheduled for a public hearing today. This section is limited to a maximum of 1 hour, and only those individuals who have already registered to speak, you can register until 7:30 or when general comment closes. The meeting rules apply. You must provide a name, and each individual person only is allowed to comment once. So, and similarly, please raise your hand in the Zoom or in the room in order to ask for assistance. If you're having technical issues, Daffodil Buchert from staff can assist you in the Zoom room. Please avoid interruptions so that we can use the time for as many people to comment as possible. If you reach the 2-minute mark, the host will announce time and your microphone will be muted. If you're unable to finish your comment, please share the rest via email, mail, or by calling our office. Contact information is listed at slccouncil.com. If you have a handout for the council, please notify council staff who will assist you. Taylor, will you please call the first names?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. There are currently 8 people registered for general comment. The first will be Jerry Schmidt, followed by Mona M, and then Adelia Wieland. Jerry is here in person.
Can you hear me? My name is Jerry Schmidt. I live in Salt Lake City, Utah. And I'm here tonight. I sent you all an email. I don't know if it went to all the council members or just my particular representative, but I'm here to speak about, I would like you folks to come out with a public statement or some sort of opposition to a bill that's up in the legislature now, SB 197. I did write an op-ed piece that appeared in the Deseret News on Friday. It's still up there. But this is something that will affect Salt Lake City residents. Before I go on, I forgot. We always need to remember our veterans whenever we're at a public hearing like this. So I always think about those 9,000 souls that are buried at Normandy so we could practice our democracy. All right, back to this issue. Salt Lake County has come out against it. The Utah Association of Counties is against it. Mill Creek's against it. Sandy City, I've approached them and now I'm approaching you. This bill will wipe out property tax relief for seniors and unmarried widows and widowers within 5 years. They will have absolutely no option for financial relief on their property taxes. 2,267 of the people who used the program in 2023, 23% of them came from Salt Lake County. I don't know how that breaks down city-wise. I'd have to ask Elon for that information, but I'm sure it affects Salt Lake City residents. The exemption isn't needed. The state only chips in about 10% of the money for the program, 90% of the counties, and we can fix this. The bill that McKay has will save taxpayers $4.55 a year, but for 68 cents a year, we can continue the program with Senator Harper's SB 224. So I would hope that you would come out against 197 and come out strongly for it. Let your people at the legislature know this is.
All right. Next is Mona M, followed by Adelia Wieland, and then Bernie Hart. Mona, you may now unmute.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. And yes, thank you for the previous speaker. I would like to honor and remember our veterans also. Thank you very much for that reminder. First off, I would like to commend this council for always conducting this meeting with great professionalism. Your dedication to the people of this city is evident. Thank you, Mayor, for responding to our comments about the police board. Appreciate that. Second, I will call each council meeting to advocate for our children, those that cannot speak for themselves. I remind you that I am not here to protest a religion, but to demonstrate against the abuses that result from it. What every Scientologist is told every time they do a session, while we cannot guarantee you that matters revealed in this list will be held forever secret, we can promise you faithfully that no part or nor any answer you make here will be given to the police or the state. No Scientologist will ever bear witness against you in the court. High control groups, i.e. cults, groom our children. Scientology has, is, and will continue to violate children until you stop it. Kids cannot consent to the abusive practices that will ruin their lives. The evidence of people with injuries is abound. We have a list of over 200 brave survivors that have come forward. In reality, it's in the thousands. Scientology abuses children, tears families apart, and is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Thank you, and I yield back my time.
Next will be Adelia Wayland, followed by Bernie Hart, and then Chanel Hill. Adelia, you may now unmute.
Good evening. Something that my Aunt Janet taught me is that anytime you go to a public meeting, you do not have to give a name. You can go anonymously. And so I hope you're not, I'm going to test it next time because I know my Aunt Janet knows, she's very involved with the police and knows that stuff. But I'm here to talk to you about the cult of Scientology and how they are safe pointing and infiltrating the police, the councils, everyone. And I bet you have received letters from different Scientologists who are trying to claim that the protesters are dangerous and crazy, and they're not. They just want to see children safe. They want to see seniors safe. There's so many human abuses. Okay, there's financial abuse, there's child abuse, there's sexual abuse that goes on. They protect any criminal, any molester, anything. They protect them. Look at Danny Masterson. Look at that case. Scientology protected them. Talk of out of doing anything for what 20 years. This is what's going on. I'm telling you, you have victims in your city crying and begging for help. But the powers that be within Scientology, they are going to convince you that they're good, they're going to help you, they're there with the solutions. And anyone that says the difference is a horrible hate monger, anti-religious bigot, all that stuff. Please do not fall for it. Please look into these claims. There's too many victims who are saying the same story. If the victimization continues, please do your job and do something. And when they come to you saying, "Oh, come see our," they'll give you. They're not going to give you a tour of the important parts. Say no. Say we're not interested. And just blow them off. Because do not let them safe point you. We have a beautiful city here. We don't need more. But stop saying you can't be anonymous because you can.
Next will be Bernie Hart, followed by Chanel Hill, and then Cindy Cromer. Bernie is here in person.
My name is Bernie Hart.
So yeah, Salt Lake does have a character too. He doesn't say anything. He's given them the silent treatment. At least he doesn't hold up a dildo like they do in LA. Silent protest, yeah. Awkward.
Thank you.
Ryan. Next will be Chanel Hill, followed by Cindy Cromer, and then Keenan Ruppel. Chanel is here in person.
I'm here today again, and I refuse to be ignored any longer. Mayor Christy Overson from Taylorsville told me my concerns are at a state level. But how can I go to the legislator if no city stands behind me? Change starts here. Religious organizations and 501c3s are abusing their tax-exempt status to hide criminal activity. We need city ordinances to hold them accountable. If we don't act, we are complicit to allowing corruption to thrive. When are we going to see police commission meetings going? We know Chief Brown led that corruption, yet we are silenced when trying to address officer misconduct. Thank you, Mayor, for taking out that garbage. And why is the Department of Corporations allowing known traffickers and sexual predators to operate 501(c)(3)s and known people who are exploiting our community under the guise of charities? I submitted a policy to this city council, and as the senior officer and founder of Stand Against Fear and Exploitation, I'm being ignored, and this is unacceptable. So I asked this city council, and I have asked 13 other city councils, and I have some city councils that are going to stand behind me. And I'm asking you guys, are you going to continue to allow corruption in your city, or are you going to stand behind me and let your city flourish? Are you going to help and stand behind me with these 501c3s? Are we going to make policies? Are we going to make these 501c3s and these organizations stop?
Time. Next will be Cindy Cromer, followed by Keenan Ruppel, and then Jennifer Hartel. Cindy's here in person.
My name is Cindy Cromer, and I'm speaking to you about an item that's coming up on your agenda, a resolution for 704 East, 900 South. As you consider extending the time allowed to comply with the ordinance, I urge you to think about the following facts. This large house, prior to its division into apartments, is precisely the kind of family-oriented housing you are championing. It's large, it's on a large lot, it's across the street from a park, a regional park. The units were created illegally by a previous owner and did not meet housing code. They were used illegally for short-term rentals. The owner told the Planning Commission that he would make 40% more operating as short-term rentals. That adds up to illegal construction and illegal use as housing, both in terms of the housing code and the length of occupancy. Because of the consolidation project, the SNB zone will soon become the equivalent of the CN, allowing uses which I certainly would consider incompatible with the abutting single-family zoning. Based on the staff report, the property is on the market. Based on the planning director's statement this afternoon about the staff time to check on compliance, it is reasonable to ask if any legal housing units will operate at this location in the future. Thank you.
Next will be Keenan Ruppel, followed by Jennifer Hartel, and then Jack Koziak. Keenan's here in person.
Hello, how are you? My name is Keenan Ruppel, and I am homeless in Salt Lake City. Thanks.
Next will be Jennifer Hartel, followed by Jack Koziak, and then Paul Nielsen. Jennifer's here in person.
My name is Jennifer Hartel. I'm here with Bernie and the Unhoused of Salt Lake City.
Everybody's taking that guy's cue about being quiet tonight. Thanks for laughing with us, JB. Audit, this is the reverse of the flash mob. This is the silent mob. This is kind of what I was thinking of doing with Public Works, was doing a silent treatment.
Thank you for your time.
It's effective, isn't it?
Next will be Jack Kozakic, followed by Paul Nielsen, and then Erica Dewitt. Jack, you may now unmute.
Yeah, good evening. Can you hear me?
Henry again.
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you. I appreciate the time. Thank you, council. And for the audience present today, this comment goes out for you, the people. I'm here today to talk about the repeated history, unfortunately, that the fellow Salt Lake City Police Department seems to have, which is a major resentment towards its fellow members. Sitting before you in the crowd is an activist that you saw speak up, Chenille. Major shout out to her and her organization, Stand Against Fear and Exploitation. Now, Chenille has a very interesting story because Chenille has repeatedly been harassed, threatened, and intimidated by various Salt Lake City officers simply for peacefully standing on a public sidewalk, exercising her First Amendment right to talk about the very clear criminal rackets that hide behind a religious veil in your great state. Now, one of those officers, actually, you know very well. He's been in the news, and unfortunately, it's not been good news. Officer Joshua Hoyle, who is also known as Killer Cop Hoyle. Why is he known that way? He's involved in the death of Megan Moan. Interestingly enough, Joshua Hoyle continues to show up every single time that Chenille is out there protesting, every single time of all the other thousands of officers, always is Joshua Hoyle present on the scene to show up and harass Chenille. Always. That's so interesting to me that of all the officers there, it has to repeatedly be Killer Cop Hoyle to harass a woman. It seems to me that Salt Lake City Police Department has a great knack for allowing women abusers, women beaters, and 5150 patient attackers and assaulters like Joshua Hoyle. This is disgusting. What are you going to do about it? And you, city attorney, what are you going to do? This guy should have been locked up. The video evidence was so clear. Disgusting.
Next will be Paul Nielsen, followed by Erica Dewitt. Paul is here in person.
Chair, members of the council, and mayor. I never thought I would voluntarily come here and speak to you. I've spent enough time in these meetings to know that your minutes are precious. I just wanted to thank you for entrusting the city attorney's office with the leadership of Mark Cottrell. There is nobody in our office who is not excited about this appointment, and he has all of the characteristics, qualities, the demeanor, the temperament, and you will see in the coming years as there are stressful moments, there are difficulties with this wonderful time of the year when we're dealing with legislation, that Mark will handle these challenges competently and carefully. And I just wanted to thank you and look forward to our new leader. Thank you.
And next will be Erica Dewitt. Erica's here in person.
Good evening. I'm here to talk about the Utah bill that was passed about banning the pride flags. and allowing the Nazi and Confederate flags to be available in schools and in federal buildings. The proposed Utah bill has sparked intense controversy by banning pride flags in public schools while allowing Nazi and Confederate flags for educational purposes. This decision is deeply offensive and troubling. It creates a double standard and legitimizes symbols of hate while ensuing symbols of inclusivity and acceptance. The dangers in this, by allowing Nazi and Confederate flags under the pretext of education while banning pride flags, this bill sends a disturbing message. It suggests that historical symbols tied to racism, genocide, and oppression are more acceptable than a flag representing love, equality, LGBTQ plus rights. This can be interpreted as an endorsement of extremist ideologies, emboldening those who speak to suppress marginalized communities. In today's highly polarized political climate, such legislation may serve as an open invitation for racist, discriminatory behavior. White supremacist groups and anti-LGBTQ plus organizations could view this as validation of their beliefs, further exacerbating social divisions and increasing incidents of hate speech and violence in schools and beyond. These are valid instances where Nazi and Confederate flags may be used in educational settings, primarily in history lessons about World War II, the Holocaust, and the American Civil War. These flags serve as historical artifacts and help students understand the
Time. That was the final registered commenter.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for your comments. We are now on section E, which is new business. Item E1 is an ordinance for the Economic Development Loan Fund to Policy Kingsbury LLC. I will look for a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that the council adopt the ordinance approving.
I'm going to leave the voice portion. We'll watch Chanel and Crazy. We'll watch her for a little bit. But that's the ending of the public comment. Hey, Dan Walks. Welcome in. Welcome to my channel. Thank you very much for coming in. And Sally, I typed your name because we were listening. They're just going to talk about business, new business, old business, and crap like that that we don't really need to deal with. Thank you. I absolutely love watching you, Dan Walks. As Liz calls you, Dimples. But absolutely love watching you protest. I love watching your music videos. You do a great job. And your giggles always crack me up. So I know you don't know me probably, but I've been watching you for a while, so thank you for making me smile and laugh. Nah, Audit's the superhero. I know, Amy, and we miss you. That last lady, she was so nervous, but man, she had a point about the flags, right? But you could hear her nervousness in her voice. Amy, that would have been cool if you would have called in and talked about what you normally talk about. That would have been cool on the heels of that. Well, you guys, we are coming up on 3 hours and 20 minutes because it took so long and they canceled our other meetings. So, well, we got 1 out of the 3. Audit, we're going to have to figure out when they're going to have these meetings. I think the 24th, they said, for neighborhood council. And if you figure out the bid, hey, Miss Chicago Jane, good evening to you also. Tomorrow, you guys. So tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock Pacific time, 10 o'clock a.m. Pacific time is the Public Works. And if you call in, make sure you Zoom in ahead of time. You're already in bed. Well, sweet dreams, Amy. Sweet dreams to you. And so 10 o'clock, and then, yeah, it was. It was a great point and an excellent place for it to be brought up. Audit, if you're still on here, what time is ethics tomorrow? Let me see. Tomorrow, I know you can't see my screen. So 10 o'clock, Board of Public Works, and then the city council meetings and stuff. And then 1 p.m. Pacific is ethics. And you can call in. And then 3:30 is the Public Safety Committee meeting. And usually you can't call in. That's usually in person only. But the 1 p.m. Pacific time for Ethics Commission. And in the morning, I'll post links for both of those so you guys can remember that. And the Ethics Commission, it oversees city employee behavior, which includes city attorneys and the mayor. So if you guys have complaints or would like to talk about that, that would be a good spot for it. So with that, I am going to get ready to hit the hay myself. It's 9:45 here. Much love to you all, and I'll see you for the Good Morning Sunshines in the morning. Good night.